Hello guys, and welcome to another installment of A Computers and Technology. Today we're going to be taking a look at Ubuntu Mate 16.04 running on the Raspberry Pi 3. Now when I made the overview on the PiTop Seed and mentioned I was going to be running Ubuntu Mate, a lot of people wanted me to make a quick little video about performance, and I've been using it for 3 weeks. I have some things to say about it, some good things and some bad things. So today we will be taking a look at Ubuntu Mate running on the Raspberry Pi 3 setup that I have right in front of you guys. Now, we're not going to be doing anything super crazy today, like editing video or playing games on the Raspberry Pi. I really just want to demo the system's capabilities as a general productivity machine. For the past 3 weeks, I have been using this as my primary school machine. I've been using it to write up papers, open up PowerPoints, do online assignments, do research, and it's actually performed a little bit better than I expected from the get-go. Now, there are some drawbacks with using a Raspberry Pi as your primary day-to-day system, and I will get into that in just a minute. The Raspberry Pi and Ubuntu Mate are not perfect, but they are definitely, when put together, usable as a day-to-day school computer. So I'm going to go ahead and boot this thing up. We're going to check out boot time. This thing actually boots up pretty quickly. So I'm going to turn it on now. I'm going to start the timer. And you will see that this should boot up in, I believe, under 30 seconds. Now, I am using a SanDisk Extreme SD card. The link for that will be in the description. It is a pretty beefy SD card, 16 gigabytes, and I believe the sequential read and write speeds are around 90 megabytes per second. So a pretty good little micro SD card. And once again, if you guys want to check that out, the link will be in the description. Beforehand, I was using a Silicon Power 32 gigabyte SD card, and performance really wasn't quite there yet, and I switched over to the SanDisk Extreme card, and performance is much better with that card. So yes, SD cards really make a big difference when it comes to performance on the Raspberry Pi. So as you can see, booted up in under 30 seconds. Now, I have made some edits to the configuration file of this system. It is not running the stock configuration. I have overclocked it a little bit and made a couple other tweaks here and there. I'm going to go ahead and pop open a terminal to show you said tweaks right now. There we go, popped open the configuration file, and if I scroll down to our clock speeds, where are they? They're down here somewhere. I went ahead and allocated 128 megabytes of RAM for our GPU. And if we go all the way down here, you can see that I have this thing overclocked to, I believe, 1300 megahertz. There we go. So our ARM processor is running at 1300 megahertz. I made a couple other tweaks as well. You can take a look at those right now. And if you guys just want to take this configuration file and use it on your system, or maybe take a look at what exactly I have done, because this is not everything that I have tweaked, I will go ahead and put a link to this configuration file in the description so you guys can check that out. Now, I'm trying to remember where I was at, because I left for a couple hours to go see Star Trek Beyond, which was actually pretty good, and now I'm getting my train of thought back. So, I did use Raspbian for about a week before I migrated over to Mate, and I have to say that I'm probably going to stick to Mate, but as far as performance is concerned, they were about the same. I didn't really notice any performance increase when I moved over to Ubuntu Mate. They're about as snappy as the other. One big difference between Mate and Raspbian is that Mate doesn't have support for hardware accelerated applications. The only one that really supports is OMX Player, which actually works pretty well. I'll demonstrate that in just a second, but that is probably a pretty significant drawback for some as far as productivity is concerned. You know, some people do need that hardware acceleration, and that's where you're going to want to stick to Raspbian. I personally really didn't need it, so I'm going to be sticking to Mate, but hey, if you need it, Raspbian's there for you. So let's close out this. This is the Ubuntu Mate Welcome Center, the Raspberry Pi information. We're going to close out of that, and you can see our clock speeds right here. I turned off dynamic clocking, so processor stuck at 1300 megahertz. We're going to close that terminal. By the way, just for reference, this is a 1366 by 760 1080p monitor. I usually forget to mention screen resolution in videos like this, so I'll just throw that out there now. Now, I want to address two small hardware issues. I'm really not a big fan of the built-in Broadcom wireless. Haven't had too much luck with it. It does work, but it's flaky at best, disconnects a lot, and, you know, I just gave up on using it and plugged in my MediaLink USB Wi-Fi dongle, which surprisingly works well with this. With my Windows machine, for some reason, I was having issues with it, but with this Mate machine, hey, it's working just fine. And the second sort of hardware-related issue that I've had is that my USB devices disconnect whenever I turn this USB hub on. I don't know if that's the fault of the Pi or the USB hub or the fact that I do have quite a few USB devices plugged in, but it is really annoying because when I turn on that USB hub, my keyboard and my mouse disconnect and I have to restart the system, and that happens about half the time. So yeah, that's another hardware issue that kind of ticks me off there. Using Ubuntu Mate in conjunction with the Raspberry Pi 3 almost feels like using a full-fledged desktop system. Now, the experiences are a little bit different. You know, you're losing a little bit when you move over to the Raspberry Pi 3, but for what it is, a $35 quad-core single-board computer, I mean, it's pretty impressive, and the power consumption is impressive too. I bought one of those watt meters and checked this out the other day. This whole setup is using under 7 watts at idle, so pretty impressive stats there. I'm going to try to slow down on the talking and actually just use the system in real time. So I'm going to pop up some applications. We're going to do some real world stuff. I'm going to open up LibreOffice. We're going to type up some documents, you know, do some research, that kind of thing. And we'll see, you know, how it performs. So the first thing we're going to do is navigate to my website. So www.aacomputersandtechnology.com. And this part is going to be a little bit slow. Feel free to skip ahead. I don't want to make any edits so you guys can see the true performance of this system, since that's really the whole point of this video. So you can see that I loaded up my website here, and we are using Firefox. I tried out Midori, and Midori, as far as performance is concerned, it's about the same, but the stability wasn't really there, and I couldn't even get Chromium installed. I think the latest version of Chromium doesn't work with Ubuntu Mate for the Raspberry Pi 3, unfortunately. So you can see I'm scrolling here. Scrolling is actually surprisingly smooth. Scrolling up and down here. The website loaded within a reasonable amount of time. Let's just pop open YouTube. And you can see that some of the URLs are already there, and that makes things a lot easier. I want to go to my channel. Let's drop down the AA Computers and Technology box, and and there we go. Okay, so this brings me to another point. I'm glad this happened. Even though Firefox is a little bit more stable than Midori is, it still does crash quite a bit, especially the latest update. So that's more of a software drawback, and it is a pain in the butt. You know, I haven't found a decent web browser for this system yet. I might try out Cupzilla because that worked really well with that dual-core Atom machine, and I think it might work well here. So that's something I'm going to have to try in the near future. I'm glad that happened on camera because that really shows you guys that this user experience is not perfect. There are some hiccups here and there. I popped open the system monitor so we can check out the system resource usage. Sitting at idle, the system is using under 250 megabytes of RAM. You can see our CPU usage up here. I'm going to pop Firefox back open, and we're going to try to do some multitasking right now, open multiple sites at once, and eventually multiple applications. Now, initially, I thought that the fact that we're limited to 1 gigabyte of RAM might be slightly troubling for multitasking, but it's actually not bad. I haven't maxed out the RAM yet, and I've had several instances of LibreOffice open and a couple different applications open all at once, and the system didn't crash. You know, it's actually been fine with 1 gigabyte of RAM, which is surprising. So I'm going to open my site back up. Once again, we're going to try to do some multitasking here. Pop open a couple different sites. Let's just go some of these sites right here. So we're going to move over to eBay. We're going to swap over to Amazon. I'm going to open up my bookmarks. I think I might have a couple sites listed up here that we can pop open. And as you can see, the system isn't the speediest thing in the world. I mean, it gets the job done, but you can see there are points where it is starting to hang. So Amazon's loading out. Can we move over to eBay? Yep, that is just fine. Let's take a look at the system resource usage, and you can see that it is starting to go up there as we open up more and more tabs. So going back to the internet browser, and just locked up a little bit. So yeah, you can see user experience is definitely not perfect. It is usable, and it's surprisingly decent for, you know, what it is once again, but
not perfect. I'm going to keep saying that during this video. And now, let's move over to something that I have in my bookmarks. So let's see. I think I have the Associated Press bookmarks somewhere. There we go. I got bored last night. I was just checking out the news, and I bookmarked the Associated Press because I always visit it, and I always forget the URL. Okay. Because the actual news section isn't, on their official site. At least I can't find it. It's like a different subsection to their site, and it kind of throws me off all the time. You guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about. So pop open another tab. As you can see, getting a little bit excessive here with the tabs we are using. What else can I open? Oh, why not? Let's just start opening up some stuff that I don't ever remember really using. That is the portal to the community college that I'm going to for the summer. What else is there? Yay, summer classes. And you can see all of our tabs loaded up here. So not bad at all. How many do we have open? We have 5 tabs with something loaded on it. Let's make that 6. Where else can we go? And I made a small cut right there because I couldn't really figure out what site I wanted to visit. I just decided I would go to our Facebook page. So there's our Facebook page right here. Ooh, someone sent me a message and I haven't answered it yet. I'll get back to you right after this video. All right, so we have 6 tabs loaded up right now. And as you can see, yeah, it's starting to slow down just a little bit, but it's still responsive. Definitely still responsive here. So I'm going to minimize this. Actually, you know what? We're going to throw it off to the side. And that looks a little bit odd right there. Okay, so you can check out our resource usage right here. Getting on the high side, we're about to max out our RAM, but we should be fine with opening up a couple more applications. It's a limitation, but then again, the RAM's not really a limitation because I personally haven't been able to max it out yet. But some might be a little bit more comfortable with a little more RAM. So now, you know what? I have a bunch of PowerPoints in my downloads directory because I was studying the other day, have a ton of them, and you know what? Let's just pop them all open at once. Let's have some fun. And then I know I'm still talking a lot, guys. It's my channel. I can do what I want. If you want to see one of those videos where someone just sits there and uses an operating system in complete silence, I mean, there's several of those out there. You can go ahead and do that. Close out this right now and go check one of those out. But I'm going to talk. It's my channel. I enjoy talking to you guys. Well, I guess technically talking to myself right now, but I enjoy the after conversation in the comment section. So feel free to comment if you have any suggestions or any questions or comments. Hey, anything's welcome. So as you can see, we're popping open a ton of instances of LibreOffice Impress, and I think there's a writer instance in there somewhere. Okay, that's another place where I definitely need to cut it because it just took too long to open all of those instances of LibreOffice Impress and Writer. I just slammed the system. I'm like, just open 20 at once. Do it now. So as you can see, they are all open though. I was studying for a chemistry exam the other night, and I just had all these on here. So you can see, yep, they are all sitting right here, and we'll just try to scroll through here. Actually, this one's just text. Can we get one with some images? Maybe something a little bit more taxing? Where are you? I just saw you. Okay, there we go. So I'll just scroll through here. As you can see, I can cycle through these PowerPoint slides just fine. I'll go through here. All right. That is fun. And we'll check out all our system resource usage. And you can see, yeah, this is the point where we're getting really towards the high side, and we probably want to slow down right now. So I'm going to minimize this, and we're going to close all of these back out, and we'll do something else. And I didn't really show load times for those applications because I made that cut. So we'll go ahead and just open up one PowerPoint and one Writer instance because it just takes a little bit of time to open, 20 up. So here's just opening up one of those chemistry PowerPoints. And a little bit slower than your average desktop PC, but if it gets there eventually. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. There we go. And you gotta keep in mind, these PowerPoints are also pretty image heavy as well. And we'll just pop open one of these Writer files. And yeah, as you can see, that was a bit snappier because we don't have all of that stuff in there. So I'm gonna close out these. Load times definitely weren't too bad. Something that's bearable. If you're a super power PC user with a 16-core desktop, that might be a little bit slow to you, but for me, that's absolutely acceptable. And I always like to have a section in these sort of videos where we just get absolutely crazy with the application. So let's open up a bunch of them. All right. Oh, and by the way, we do have Minecraft on this, and I'll actually try to play that for a little bit if you guys want to check that out. I guess it's the Raspberry Pi version of Minecraft, not the like actual Minecraft version. So let's get a little bit crazy here. Pop open some applications. I'm at an angle where I can't really see what I'm opening, so kind of awkward right now, but it looks like everything is coping just fine. We'll open up some system applications, just some standard run-of-the-mill applications. We have a scanning application right here. What else is here? Do I have Shotwell? Did I open up Shotwell yet? No, I did not. Let's pop open Shotwell. I have made image viewer. What else do we have here? Lots and lots of goodies pre-installed. A majority of these applications were pre-installed. I think the only one that I installed was geez, I can't even remember now. I think these might actually all be pre-installed applications. All right, so you can see, reasonable load times right now. The system's still pretty responsive despite the amount of applications that we have open. Whoa, what did I do? I just opened up an on-screen keyboard. I think I clicked a application I didn't mean to right there. Oh gosh, how do I get out of this? All right, there we go. I got out of there. That surprised me. What a surprise. Like kind of shakes things up a little bit. And I think that's really about it. That's as far as we'll go. And let's check out our system resource usage. And yeah, not too bad. We're only using about 550 megabytes of the total of 1 gigabyte on board. So yeah, you can see we got a bunch of applications open here. That's handling it just fine. Bluetooth connectivity is supported by this operating system. They have a couple built-in utilities that make it really easy to get up and going. As you can see, I have my Skiva Bluetooth speaker hooked up right now, and for the most part, that works just fine. Now, I said for the most part, and that's because I cannot get OMX Player to play back audio through my Bluetooth speaker, and I will show you guys that in just a second. But if I open up this YouTube video, which I finally got to open up without crashing, you can hear that it will play back through these speakers. So I'll play it. Just because you're using a laptop cooling pad like this, it can help if your laptop. And that is playing back through my Bluetooth speakers right here. So I'm gonna put that back down. We're gonna turn the volume down because honestly I can't even hear myself right now. So we're gonna turn it down. And with this operating system, I've only succeeded in playing YouTube videos back in 480p. I visited some forums to see if I could somehow get HD video playback to work on the Raspberry Pi 3 Ubuntu Mate installed, and there wasn't really anything super helpful there. If you guys have any tips for me as far as getting HD video playback to work with YouTube on Ubuntu Mate on the Raspberry Pi 3, I would really appreciate your advice, because I've been looking around. I just haven't found any solutions for it. It's been a hunt, and I just haven't come up with anything yet. Yeah, so you can see I have 720. Well, I'm trying to play back 720p video at 60 FPS, and it's just not having it. But if we go to OMX Player, which does support hardware acceleration. Come on, stop. There we go. So if I close out of this, and if we go to OMX Player, which I have to access through the command line, OMXPLAYER, and we're going to play back a video from our video archive. This is recorded in 1080p at 60 FPS, so I guess I should say encoded at 1080p at 60 FPS. So we're going to paste the file name, and we're just going to play back. As you can see, playback is nice and smooth. Now, I haven't memorized all of the hotkeys with this, so I'm trying to figure out how to fast forward, and I just can't remember. But as you can see, video playback is just fine through OMX Player. 1080p video at 60 FPS, and it looks absolutely great. I need to find a graphical user interface front end for this, because I'm not really a big fan of going through the command line. But OMX Player works really well for playing back video. As you can see, I mean, it actually is flawless. It looks really good. Well, right there we had a little video artifact, so not perfect. And you guys probably can't hear the audio, and that's because, as I said earlier, it's playing back through a tiny little dollar store speaker that I have built into the bezel. It's right under here. I'll open it up and show you guys, and I cannot get it to play through the Bluetooth speaker. So if anyone has a solution for that, along with getting HD YouTube videos to play back, I would really appreciate it if you guys would help me out and drop something in the comments section, actually for everyone, not just for me. If anyone else is trying to do the same thing, you could help us all out. And as you guys can see, this video is being played back through a USB hard drive, so USB storage devices work a-okay with Ubuntu Mate. Oh man, guys, that is the worst. That is the absolute worst. Of course, I updated everything right before this video, and that appears to have broken the Minecraft Pi edition, because now we're just getting a black screen. Before the update, it worked just fine, and now it's not working. So that is super disappointing. Not going to be able to demo that in this video. That's going to be about it for this video, guys. Overall, I feel like Ubuntu Mate in conjunction with the Raspberry Pi 3 makes for a usable system. Been using it for the past 3 weeks, really like it, and I plan on sticking to it for a while. Once again, it is not perfect. As you can see, we ran into a few issues just during this video, so it's not perfect. You know, there's still some kinks that need to be worked out. There's still some stuff I have to do, and there's still some stuff that the people at the Mate project have to do. But you know, it makes for a usable system for everyday computing, and you know, I really like it personally. You know, that's subjective. You guys can try it out yourself. Of course, I will put the link to Ubuntu Mate 16.04 Pi Edition in the description if anyone wants to check it out. That's going to be about it for this video, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can go ahead and post a comment in the comment section. Just none of those you talk too much comments, because once again, that's really just part of this channel. I enjoyed talking. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like this video, drop a like. If you didn't like this video, please tell me why. You can support me by using my Amazon or eBay affiliate links. And speaking of my affiliate links, if you want to check any of this stuff out, I will put a bunch of the links to all this in the description, including the PyTop and of course the Ubuntu Mate image. And am I missing anything? Of course, please do not forget to drop a like on the Facebook page, and you can also support me by checking out my Patreon. We have a really big project coming up with the PyTop seed. Well, the PyTop seed is going to be part of it. It's a solar project. I talked about it on Facebook a little bit, and if you guys want to check out what exactly I have planned, you can go ahead and check out the post on Facebook.